But you can't mess with it. So get it out before two gets. The moral of the story is.
You ready? All right, I will call this meeting to order, the Timoth Select Board, Thursday, November 9th, 2023, 7 o'clock. Welcome, everyone. In the room, we have Kevin, myself, Judy, Eric, Rick,
Susan.
Susan, Stan, Michael, and on Zoom, we have Sherry. I'm sorry, apparently I can't read.
Pat,
Nancy.
Pat Pashoka's phone. Deb and Tom Bromley, they're over in the corner there.
Oh, great,
Nancy Birdsall and Miles Fallon.
great. Thank
The
you all.
other generation.
Thank you all for being here. We're gonna review the agenda. Is there anything that needs to be added, taken out, moved? No? All right. Gail, do you have anything?
No, it'll fit what's on there.
Okay, great,
It'll fit what's on there.
perfect. All right, we have the minutes from our last meeting, October 25th.
So the version that you have in your packet,
Yeah,
I believe is the corrected version, ones I sent you the other night. They were missing two of the orders.
sections.
They're
Okay.
missing 16 and 17 of the warrants, they're corrected in this version here.
Oh, okay. My only thing was, when we talked about the winter salt bids, did we agree we were going back out to bid and we're opening those bids on the 17th?
Yes.
Yep.
21st.
On the 21st,
Yeah,
whenever that is, yeah,
21st.
that is what we're doing, right? It just,
I think we were gonna just try to figure things out why they hadn't bid and think about it, but.
oh, I thought we were going back out.
We were
to
going
bid.
out to bid again as well.
Okay, that's the only thing I wanted to clarify.
I thought that's why we were having this special meeting, was to open the bids.
Right.
Yep.
Will there be enough time between now and then?
Probably.
Yeah. So if we can get those sent out,
Because. My conversation with the Wallingford. Administrative assistant. Cargill
yeah,
had bid, sent them a paper bid. In September, so I don't know why they didn't want to send us a bid.
okay, well, maybe we
So we
could
got-
ask them for one by the 21st, that would be great. That was my only question. Either of you have anything?
No, that was really the only thing I noticed was,
Would one of you like to make a motion to approve? With.
With the new bids.
Well, that was our understanding,
That's
but
Corrected.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the minutes with the corrections to the
I will second that.
rebid.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, citizens input. Anybody like to speak? On Zoom? Okay. Highway. Eric, you're up.
Let's see. We've been cleaning up, moving equipment around, putting summer stuff away, getting winter stuff out. Obviously, we're planning winter. Handrails are done. Painted.
Nice.
We've been plowing, sanding, and we dug out some rocks. And this is what it is. That's all I got.
Great. You'll have enough salt for us to figure this whole salt thing out.
Hopefully, I can
Okay.
order some if not.
Yeah, they'll keep delivering.
Okay.
It's not like they.
We won't run out.
All right,
I won't let us.
we don't have the other bidder here, but. I don't believe.
I don't see anything on the thing. So we got two bids.
Did you have anything else, Eric? Sorry. No, okay.
They got sent out to three people. Stan Martell. Nate Marcel. Who plows Riggs. Property at the end of Montpelier Road. And somebody named Levi Allen, but he didn't send anything back, so. So these are what we got.
You can do the honor.
And I think I put a copy of the bid quote in your packet.
Yeah, I saw that.
Putting up where it's up there.
Yeah.
And I put it on Front Porch Forum, but I didn't get any response on it.
Hey, we got two at least, so.
Took sealed bid to a whole new level on this one.
Yeah.
Childproof on this one.
Did want somebody don't miss that.
Doesn't matter if you can't get into it.
Anybody want to go first? Judy, why don't you go?
All right, so this is Martell's Landscaping and Lawn Care. So the hourly rate for tree removal is $75. Gulf Road is $200 per plow. McCoy Road, $250 per plow. Brook Road, $150 per plow if necessary. East Wells Road intersection, $50 to plow, $75 to salt if necessary. Nothing will be charged for Brook Road and East Wells Road if they are already done.
Sorry.
So he broke it all down.
I'm just remembering what Frank and Phil charged us. Yeah, that was yeah.
They broke it down by road.
Yeah,
So this is hourly rate tree removal was 65. Per sanding is 385. Per plowing is 310.
Then it's broken down upon.
Yeah. Yeah, Gulf Road's 100 per plow, 125 sand. McCoy Road's 100 per plow, 125 per sand. Brook Road is 60 plow, 75 sand. East Wells Road is 50 plow, 60 sand.
And so just so you know, we've only been paying Phil and Frank to plow McCoy Road and Gulf Road. The town of Wells has always maintained that little end of Brook Road and that little end of East Wells Road. We haven't had to do those. In my mind.
From what Dave told me, and Phil used to plow them. And he would, when he turned around, he would sand it. But Phil always plowed it. That's what Dave told me, and plow it.
Okay,
Freight may not, I mean,
well, we were only ever charged for
Yep.
Gulf Road. That's where I'm coming from. Well, but the one that you have on here, you're saying that you didn't charge the road? We did not, yeah, we did not ever been charged. It was my understanding that, well, it was taken care of. I didn't know that. But it was taken care of.
Well,
oh,
I like this one. How do you two feel?
I agree.
I didn't,
But can you read those to me again? My notes are quite what. I didn't write fast enough as you were talking.
Oh, sorry.
that's the one I had.
Let's see. This is for the Martell. We have Gulf Road is 100 to plow, 125 to sand. McCoy Road, 100 to plow, 125 to sand. Brook Road, 60 to plow, 75 to sand. East Wells Road, 50 to plow, 60 to sand.
This is Marcel's. Gulf Road is 200 per plow. McCoy Road is 250 to plow. Brook Road's 150 to plow. East Wells Road is 50 to plow and 75 to sand it. Is that 250? Is that 200 and not 250 including sanding?
It must be.
Doesn't specify.
Is there another piece of paper that's broken down?
No.
Is there anything on the back? I didn't look on the back.
So he didn't break down his sanding.
Maybe he just included it. Or does it say? 70, well, per sanding, oh, page.
Page, I have two
Alright.
pages with no sanding, so.
Martel also has contracted of 12,000 for the winter season. As an option.
Historically, just so you know, it's between 2,000 and 6,000 for that maintenance in the last 8 years. Yeah.
Did you get all that, Gail?
It's-
Okay. Do either of you feel strongly one way or the other?
Well, this is cheaper.
Yep.
So.
And they're here. Would you like to say anything about your bid? All right. Would either of you like to make a motion to accept?
Make a motion to accept. This is Martell's.
Mhm.
Okay, Martell's bid for,
Our winter's west side Tinmouth Road maintenance
sanding.
contract.
Which way do you wanna go? Do you wanna go for bid or do you wanna go
we're gonna go with the per,
for time?
yeah, yep.
That's what I would
Yep.
say.
Yep.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very much. Thank you.
Who said it's smart?
I asked them if you're going up, and no, I don't have it.
We got all done over here. and I went,
There's no one
over
else.
here, said that.
Perfect. Okay. You're welcome to stay for the meeting.
I was
also.
hoping.
Tandem truck replacement process.
I still don't know how we're gonna do it.
Yeah,
I think I told you last time that depending on what truck we have,
right.
we get under it, but basically the equipment, he said we wanna get in line,
Yeah,
so like by the next, well, by the December meeting, we probably wanna.
and is there any financial, like, commitment involved in that?
You have to sign the thing, he said if something happens that, budget falls through, town meeting turns something down, he goes, they just tear it up.
But what do they do about pricing? How do they?
The equipment, they'll lock in their price, that price is locked until
Okay,
the truck's built. I haven't got a straight answer out of Jeff on
truck,
the truck yet. So that's why.
'Cause I don't-
know.
Yeah,
but we can order that truck and not be committed to it, correct?
I believe so. I don't know yet. I haven't really got it nailed down because I don't know if we can order it if we don't know how much it's gonna cost.
Right, yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
like, yeah, I wanna get in line, but I don't know what,
I
So
mean,
wanna
we
blindly,
know, we know the equipment pricing, if
Right.
we get in line, we're locked in, and if something happens, they said, we'll just tear it up and throw it away.
There used to be more than one equipment guy, is there only one equipment?
They're the
company?
only one in, everybody's like, the other two guys have moved. And they're not doing anywhere near the work, and they're buried too.
Mm.
So there's one there. They have like little zones. And no one can go into the other guy's zone. So
Mm.
Jeff deals with another one that's down, another body company. That's Albany way, down that way somewheres.
So
Hold
we're
on.
talking Jeff Delury.
Jeff Delury, yeah. He can send trucks down there, but not for someone here. It has to be someone,
Right,
so
'cause
they got their own little.
they're like stepping on someone else's
Right.
The
toes.
last time we did the trucks, the board had decided just to have the truck dealer do the equipment, because we used to do it separately, and then
Right,
it seemed like nobody was doing it that way, so we went having the truck dealer come up with the equipment.
well, it seems like they have created their own monster. Because they're building,
Kind of
all
working
these-
against each other.
well, all the dealers are locking in spots to build these trucks and they're doing. Stock trucks. You know what I mean? So they, like Deliri's not doing it, but, the guys up in Jericho, Clark's. They'll have 2 or 3 trucks built, sitting there. All built, but they're not what we want,
Yeah.
you know, so you could go up and just grab one. But it's not, you know, it's not gonna, you're not gonna get what you want. Or what you need, so they're you know, they got these trucks, they're
They're-
screwing up the chain.
They're thinking that they can figure out what a town's gonna want,
Yeah.
or not necessarily a town.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
vendor will want, and they're building that truck.
Right,
So
they're,
either you take that truck or you wait.
right, they're moving things around to make it all work, and
How
I think
far
they're waiting on.
are the trucks that are already built from what is spec'd out?
They're so, it, it's like, buying a Kia or a Toyota. You know what I mean? It's that, there's, you get whatever you want. These trucks are purpose built for us. And, you don't know, you know, it could be close, or it could be,
Is there any way to know? Like, do they have a list of inventory?
oh, they'll bring us, yeah, they'll bring us one.
And are they less expensive for any reason?
No.
No.
It's the same thing,
Bummer.
you just get what they ordered instead of what you ordered.
Right.
So,
So how much different are, what we want is what they're putting together.
well,
The
it's,
controls are gonna all be different.
it's whatever they decided to put in there, and I don't know. I mean,
Well, and it's also like, right, so that would be if we went with one of those trucks when, on the year that we were budgeted to buy it, or we get in line now to have a truck custom built.
Right.
To be done by the time we planned to,
right, For, I think it's
Yeah.
June 25 or something like that, August 25. Yeah, I got it written down. but He said basically the body is the biggest lead right now.
And they're
Well,
18 months.
18 months to 2 years. And then the different trucks are different lead times,
right,
so it's like, I don't know how the hell we even,
can he get us
Have-
more information? Can
How
he
do you
get,
bid them, right?
right, that's the thing, I haven't got Jeff nailed down on the truck part yet.
yeah,
So if we could put it all together like we did last time, it'd be great, but I'll
Right.
get a hold of Jeff and. Talk to him some more, but I'm not feeling real good on him giving us a hard number.
right,
For the truck that's gonna be here in 2 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, how's he know?
right,
Well,
I'm surprised the body guys are doing it, honestly. Cause Jeff Slade, the Caterpillar guy, said they lost $30,000 on the grader that they dropped in.
Mm.
Launch,
Wow.
because the price has changed that much between the time they ordered it and the time it showed up. So the company lost 30 grand.
Mm.
So,
So. It sounds like there's an. Outside chance we take a truck that's pre-built. Maybe, or live with the one we got for now, maybe.
oh, we're gonna live with the one we got for 2 years anyways,
Right, but
but,
you don't know where we're at. in
that's
2
how we
years.
plan ahead,
right,
what steps we take now.
well, and how much we have to increase the budget,
Right,
you know?
Yeah.
I don't remember what we spent for the body and the plow the last time, I think it was like
I think,
60 something thousand,
I think
you
it
know,
was 80.
now it's 100.
I think it was 80 something. I believe, I think the truck was 120.
do we have all that paperwork from the last time we bought it? We could just go back and look at it, or maybe not. Thinking we have, maybe our next meeting, we'll have more information.
Yeah, I'll get some more information, from Jeff, see what they're thinking. Thank you.
Bye, thank
Have a
you,
good night.
Nice meeting.
nice to meet you.
The Mac guys said, call us when you get
If you wanna
closer.
send us- I'll email you about building them all. Okay, all right, thank you.
And Weston Shire said the same thing, well, said call us when you get closer.
Yeah.
But if international's 2 years out, then we can't call them.
And do you know what other towns are doing for replacement?
I don't, I have to, I know. I talked to one of the Clarendon guys, that says they've got a Mac ordered,
Okay,
but we could talk to one of the Clarendon. If somebody knows anybody that's in the select board at Clarendon. I don't know how they're doing it either.
yeah. Yeah, I don't
I
know,
mean, if it's 5 months, 5 or 6 months, out, that's not a big deal,
right,
I know that. International is way farther than that, and they're usually less money.
Right.
So,
That's why they're way farther.
well, if we can have yeah. Meadow? Jerry,
Do you want me to ask at the next TAC meeting what other towns are doing about replacing trucks?
Yeah,
Because they're usually about 10 representatives at the meetings.
that sounds good to me. Sound good to both of you? Yeah,
Okay.
Sherry, that would be great. Thanks,
All
Sherry.
right.
Yeah, I think maybe we can, just to help us make this decision, if he can get us a little more information, and then we can get a sense of what we did last time. That would be great. Did we have like proposals that came in like this, Bill, from last time, like, we still have this type of thing? I mean,
Look around, don't throw anything away.
well,
We have,
um. Is there anything else you two would need before our next meeting? If we can have Eric or Gail.
your
For
meeting
Sherry.
in December or your meeting
Um,
Twenty-first.
You got some time.
We have some time.
You know,
We
it's
can wait
not-
till December.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Then-
give
then-
ourselves time to get,
gives him time enough to,
We don't wanna wait till spring.
right.
We wanna be-
I mean, I think it's, yeah. it's
December's good.
Whatever that word is. Prepared, being prepared.
I wish they weren't that far out.
Yeah,
Complicated.
good to start the conversation. All right, anything else for that, Michael?
I would like the select board to consider, instead of, continually buying these large tandem trucks, to investigate the feasibility of getting another F-450 and a plow, and use that as, there's a lot of roads, a lot of the, dirt roads, you know, I think could very well be utilized with a smaller truck that is less expensive. I don't know if we really need to have two tandem dump trucks. I mean, you're hauling gravel back and forth, and, you know, we do need a large dump truck, but I don't think that, just because of the cost of everything, I think that it behooves the board to look into other alternatives other than just continually buying these very large, expensive trucks that are $100,000 every 5 to 10 years. But anyway, I mean, that's a massive amount of money for, you know, if we can get something that is, you know, a fraction of the cost, you know.
Yeah.
Do we really need to continually replace these giant vehicles?
Do you wanna,
The 550 is 100,000.
As opposed to 200,000? You know,
With
for,
the
you
same.
know, and when you're, if plowing the roads, he's not putting a whole heck of a lot of gravel on the back. And there's not a lot of salt, so.
He put 14 yards on today.
So you're gonna,
You're gonna make 20 trips.
yeah,
I'm just saying. look,
no, I know, yeah,
it's-
no, yeah,
yeah,
cost effectiveness.
These are big trucks, and typically throughout the last few years, the amount of gravel that has been on the dirt roads has been not as much. I was honestly surprised at the sanding on the road.
it was very nice, by the way.
It was very
I
nice,
don't say it was slippery,
But
but it was
that's
nice.
typically not something that I, you know, come to expect from, you know, a storm like that.
So, but you do have to weigh into consideration your you're more than quadrupling your
well, I
trips
think
and
just to
sand
kind of move on from this
and
discussion, I
fuel and,
think part of it would be that breakdown, like if we're gonna look into a different size truck, we, you know. We can break down the cost, the benefits of having the big truck. What it's used for, time saving, that kind of thing. That's all doable,
I mean, there might be a cost savings in the summer. If you can take the bander off of it and the plow off of it and run that around instead of the larger trucks.
it'd be nice if somebody had already made a spreadsheet and you could just plug in your miles, your.
or another idea too, along that lines is a single axle.
There is that's a substantially cheaper vehicle. Do you need a tandem? Do you need two tandems?
I mean, a single axle a lot cheaper. You're still
If you check the yardage of the tandems versus,
Single 7, tandems 14.
Right, before we had tandems, when we had single axle, the select board appointed a special committee and they looked into it and they said, yeah. Let's go to the tandems for X, Y, and Z, and instead of replacing them every 7 years, we'll replace them every 10 years. Well, that sounded good because,
Yeah.
it cost a whole lot
Right.
more. And then when 7 years came along and the first truck started to go belly up, I said to Stan Wilbur, who was on the committee, I said, so aren't they supposed to last longer? And he says, no, we just couldn't afford to replace them every 7 years. So that's why we said we would replace them every 10 years. And that was 20 years ago,
Yeah,
15 anyways.
well, we can make another committee and do that again.
Or maybe you can just do some research and see if somebody else has figured that stuff out already.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, be nice if there's some like easy things.
There's probably some road guru in a bigger town that has done that already. He's sitting in his office doing that kind of
Right.
thing, as opposed to, out plowing them.
And how do
We
we,
just have to figure them out.
yeah, could you find that guru? We would like to
I
plug
think
in our
I'm-
numbers.
I can go on Vermont local roads and see if there's somebody that has that information. and
Yeah.
is willing to share it.
That would be great. All right, anything else for the truck? All right. Woo, end of your reports.
So the end of the year report really didn't change, but a few things had to get moved around because they were putting the wrong two together.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies for not getting this to you sooner. I kept working on it. So basically what it said, the end of the year highway balance, we
Mm-hmm.
were just under $25,000 over budget.
But we're
But
still
part of
waiting
that
on,
is we're gonna get money reimbursed
Yeah.
by the Potter's Brook for 36,000, so that's gonna more than cover it, but it doesn't show up in FY 23, it'll show up as extra money in FY 24.
is Potter's Brook the only thing we're waiting on? I thought there was something else we were waiting on too.
We're waiting on
We haven't
tree
got-
grant.
Yeah.
That's not, we're waiting on the money for that.
We're waiting on the paperwork for the safety grant for the trees.
And when we go, when we put this in the report, just thinking of how we explain this.
Well, we just explained it, that
Yeah,
this is
not yet
the
received.
Potter's Brook cost us $50,000, and we're gonna
Yeah.
get $36,000 reimbursed, so the expenses are in 1 year and the revenue is gonna be in another.
Yeah, maybe just that part, just the expenses, like everything you
Right.
said, and then also including that last sentence of expenses are in 1 year and revenues in the other.
Yeah,
just-
keep it kind of
I think
simple.
that's great. That's, I think, just so we don't get asked questions.
It's happened before, it's not.
Yeah. Or if people have questions, there's that answer.
And so I did, you'll see that I did put the extra carry forward from FY 22.
Yep.
Into the center revenues up at the top.
Yeah, I see
It's
that.
considered part of the revenue, so. There's no more carry forward for FY 22, but there will be, should be carry forward from FY 24, because we'll have more than what we've.
Yeah. Um,
The town, the general side was under budget, but we were also under revenue, so.
Right,
We still have some delinquent taxes out there. The highway gets its money. It used to be that the school always got its money and the town was short. And now it's the highway gets all its money. That's
right,
why it shows it was $514,000 in taxes that go
Right.
to the highway. And then the town has to lump it the best they can. Luckily, we have some money in our checking account that's our cash flow.
mhm,
We have the reappraisal fund in there and a couple of things. Yep. But those are in reports that I sent you before. I don't know if anybody still has them or not.
I don't have them with me.
The balances, of what's in the equipment fund
Right.
and the building fund.
Yep.
one thing that's on here is down toward the bottom, it says Public Works,
Mhm.
transfer reimbursement. So I transferred $60,008 from the capital fund in FY '23, and by the time I got done moving everything around, there's still another $13,647 that should go from the capital building fund to the highway fund to reimburse for town garage expenses. And there was another from FY '22, there was another $2,600 that never got transferred, so that's why there's a little question mark there that says, you
Okay.
pay that in FY '24, or you just gonna leave it as, in the other highway. So does the highway want to get reimbursed out of the capital fund?
Does the highway need it?
Yeah, the highway is under because we,
Right.
Don't have that back yet.
but we're looking at this.
Yeah.
This is the page we're looking at. Okay. Down here
Mhm.
is what I'm asking is, do we want to transfer this from the capital building fund to the highway? The first 3 years we started doing public works stuff, it was like 30,000 a year. We just carried it in the highway.
Yeah,
Because we could, we had extra in there. And then once we built the garage and we've been reimbursing all the money gets spent out of the the highway, the salaries and everything is here someplace.
I would think it should go into the highway fund.
It should come back. Okay,
It's owed there, but.
it's owed there. I just wanted, it's a select board to decide it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Me deciding it, so if you
Yeah.
want, then that would go back in there. I mean, here I show it coming back so that you're only over budget by 24, otherwise you're over budget 35. This is this,
oh, I
This
see.
money
This is
here.
the same thing. Oh, so it's just
This-
another, there'd just be
this is-
another 2,600.
no, it'd be this 13,000 would get transferred in. So then the over budget is only 24,
What about that one?
and that one too. If we do that one,
So if we did both of them, that would be,
that would be 16. It would reduce this to 20,000 or something
yeah.
thereabouts.
Would you like to do both of them?
Mhm.
I would.
The
Okay.
total
Yep.
16 instead of 13?
Okay.
Okay. Mhm.
You deciding that by consensus or moving it?
I move we put the $16,241 from the capital building fund into the highway fund. Or,
That's what you're
Yeah.
doing.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
So basically, that's what's what.
yeah. And then when we go. Like when we're making these reports, the revenues. I'm just curious, it's the same format of a spreadsheet that you use for the expenditures, right? It's just, that's why it's negative instead of positive.
Yeah, that's how the highway, that's. how
Yeah, I
revenues-
figured it out. I
It's
just,
it's like backwards and it's always boggles my mind, but, we got $3,243 more from state highway aid than we budgeted, so it looks like it's a negative, it's just
right,
upside down.
but I don't feel like it doesn't look like that when we do the report, right? Like it gets,
Not in the town. report.
none of the
It
time,
doesn't-
it's
right,
changed for that, yeah.
Right, we don't have the balance in there, we just
Okay.
show what we budgeted and what we got.
Yeah.
And then what the next budget is for what we're hoping for FY '25.
And then things that we need to think about are. Like we did more. Like where did we pay, Allard out of?
Allard came out of miscellaneous, but that's not you don't have that report.
Okay,
This is end of last year.
right, yeah,
Use
I
next
didn't get
year.
all the deposits entered today.
Okay.
In order to
plan
generate
for
for
next
this
year,
year's,
okay,
this month's, but you'll have it shortly.
okay,
I've got 2 more to do and then we can try everything together and we'll see what
yeah,
got spent this year so far. All of this year came out of miscellaneous
miscellaneous,
for project special projects and things like that.
okay.
So it looks like we're gonna be spending a lot more in West Timothy. It might be worth paying you to go over there. for the
Maybe
extra
not
time.
though, maybe not, maybe it'll be easy winter.
Hmm. Do either of you have any questions?
I don't.
Makes
Can I get a
sense.
copy of that stuff,
Of what's
the stuff from West Timothy?
the West Timothy bids here?
Yeah, I'd just like to add that up and see what a plowing costs
Yeah,
over there.
Yeah, somewhere here.
Oh, yeah, I need those bids. by the way.
I hope I don't have any in my stack.
Cause you're really gonna take that, add it all together and figure out
Yeah.
I have the envelope, but I don't. You need the envelope?
No. Well, right, because it's interesting because we were being charged 65 and 45 or something. you know,
Right.
because-
Nothing.
It was
Yeah,
quite a bit different, so,
Yeah,
but it does depend on how many snowstorms you get.
Well, if somebody goes back and forth across the Gulf 10 times a day for snow drifts. We're gonna get charged $150 every time somebody does that?
Well, then next year when that comes.
it's considered the same snowstorm.
That's per plow. It's not per snowstorm.
True. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what this year does, maybe next year.
Might want to hire Glenn for the.
I was just gonna say, you could pay our extra help guy to drive a truck over there.
There you go. There's where another 450 or 550 would come in the end.
Even
No, I know.
Got 3 trucks, you only drive 2 at once.
Yeah, you actually
You can
don't,
drive one till the other
you
one.
don't even need a third truck, you just not get
Right.
it, and then you still have two backup.
But we've just accepted the bid, so we are.
Yeah, no.
here, and we'll
Yeah, I
find out.
mean, it's gonna be a trial and error, or a trial and error. thing.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to see
We'll
what,
how it goes.
So we know we're gonna be over budget.
Yeah.
For this year,
So we're gonna have to
with the contract.
think through that. I don't have any more questions.
you know, I'm good.
When do you think you'll have I can't even remember the timeline. When do we need to have our 2025
4.
You're gonna,
budget?
you're gonna probably have a preliminary of it by the 21st, if not, it'll be on the 14th of December.
Okay.
We need it done by middle of January.
Right.
I'm waiting to see what the estimates are for health insurance and what
Well.
I'm hearing out there, it's going up.
Yeah, I can't
Property insurance
imagine.
is going up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I know I just got new insurance on our 2 houses. It's nuts.
All right. Well, thank you, Gail, for getting these done.
well,
And
this stuff has always been there.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Totally down there, really didn't change, it was just putting it all together in this.
Yeah,
in
seeing
this
it.
report that you get, that's
and knowing what number that number was.
right. whether
We were
it's
ending
carry
with-
forward, so you could,
Right.
oh yeah, let's,
Well, we'd already. Yeah, so that's good to know. All right, anything else with those?
Mm-mm.
Okay, we have some warrants. Orders. Do you have a chance to review them? Do you have any questions? Anybody like to make a motion to approve?
Looked them over earlier, I'm fine with it.
No, I don't have any questions. I'll make a motion to approve the warrants and orders.
Second it.
All in favor? Yeah.
Aye.
Okay, updated ARPA list, and there was a speed limit committee request. I missed, I think, it must have been in the
I didn't see that either.
I didn't put it in there.
Okay.
Because the chair is gonna
Okay,
explain
great.
it. 'cause
All
we
right.
don't- Well, I think Sherry might have gotten a bid on it, and I don't have that right in my hands, but
Sherry,
the last time, Kevin, if you want to explain the last speed committee meeting that you had, one of the items was to ask the select board for ARPA money for the
speed feedback cards,
feedback sign.
Yep.
Because they're gonna be pretty expensive.
yes, 3 of them, and I don't know what the, Sherry, do you have the figures for those?
I'll get it for you in a minute.
And the light,
Yep, just a second. Let me find it in my emails.
And that was, the 3 feedback signs are for the village area. We
Mhm.
put them on the east road.
Mhm.
And they work best where you're changing a speed. So
Yep.
to put them on the east road, it really won't do much. It'll slow them down for a couple
Short
tenths of
period
a
of
mile,
time.
then they go right back up.
right,
So
and
the information that was presented here was it would work, you know, where it goes from 50 down to 25.
Mhm.
coming into
Coming in.
25 here, 25 there. Potentially the 25 here, but there's just not a really good spot for it on down here. It's just there's no really good like
Place.
straight prior to the 25. There's just no good spot realistically for it. So I'm not sure what we'll do there.
Well, is that a problem with people slowing down from up around that curve? Or,
Oh, once they pass that curve, they're right back. They're right on the mat and they're probably doing well.
I meant by the time they get to the 25-mile-an-hour sign, is it, you know, are they back up to 50 by then?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you don't wanna put it right where the sign is? Or would that not, I'd have to go look, I don't know where the sign is,
Mine's kind of right across from my driveway, a little bit further up. I mean, I guess we could put the feedback sign near the town.
town garage.
Garage
across from the
driveway.
town garage.
Anecdotally, I speed up every time I see those. I'm just putting that out there that
Okay,
that literally becomes like. It will disappear within a matter, and not disappear as in it'll go away. It will
but people won't
become-
pay attention to it.
People won't pay attention.
Well, I mean,
Just from my own personal experience with Danby and Wallingford and
I slow down for them. I mean,
Yeah,
but that's
I think
just,
Statistically, people slow down.
So do you remember if we
Can't find it.
had any input about how long they should be out there? I mean, do the feedback signs just stay out there forever, or do you turn them on for a while and then turn them off, or? I don't
Just
think
stay
we-
on, right?
I don't
like,
think
they
we
just
have
stay
any-
on.
And
They're,
Wallingford's are just on all the time.
yeah, and the one in, the West Rutland ones are just on all the time too.
Gail, they stay
Um,
on all the time to keep, it's like the reminder sign. So people who don't want to speed, it's the reminder. So it's there all the time. They'll be solar powered. So there might be a time when they're not going to work. I'm still looking for the price, but it was about, I sent an email out to everybody, but I'm thinking it was about $12,000 to $14,000.
I think that's what I remember, yeah.
And what are they a piece?
About
Like 4 grand
3,500
apiece,
maybe.
Roughly.
And
I'll
that-
keep
and that-
looking.
And that, price only is good as long as you're still willing to drive to Berlin to bring it back.
Yes,
Otherwise, there's all this.
It's a little-
transportation.
yes.
Go get them, sure.
so, I mean, we just. The people that are excessively speed are coming into the 25. Doing 40 and 50 is. I mean, you're coming in the school zone, so that's
Yeah,
what we want to. Potentially. Hopefully. Reduce the speed.
yeah. Yeah. I don't feel like I could make a decision tonight about this.
Right, no, it wasn't.
No,
to
it
make
was
a
just so,
decision.
no,
It was just
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
throw it out there and add it onto the ARPA thing so that.
and
we can figure it
Yeah.
out.
David is gonna make our. The 21st meeting, so we
Okay.
can talk to him about,
The sheriff,
Um,
the county sheriff.
yeah.
David
Yep,
Fox.
Dave
so we
Fox.
can talk to him about our lack of enforcement,
Coverage.
or if we somehow can get that back to where we should be, or increase it, or if he doesn't have the manpower to do it. Cause the special, what's it called? Special officer
Special officer.
is probably not gonna happen, so.
That was one of the things the speed committee talked about, was having a special officer.
But the
The
insurance.
county
is-
sheriff can't,
Mhm.
provide all the coverage we need or
Yep.
want. Maybe we could appoint a special officer, but when I contacted our insurance company about it, they said, well, if you're gonna do that, you need to almost form a police department, you gotta
Yeah.
have this, that, and the other, and policies and this and that, and
That's not
so
gonna happen.
I'm gonna check with other towns to see how
Yeah.
they actually appoint somebody.
Yeah.
Actually,
It's,
anecdotally, Mount Tabor has had its own police force.
Yeah. how
What
did
was
they do
their
that?
insurance?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah,
there
no,
are-
I do,
there
you're
are
right, I do
municipalities,
remember that, I
they-
wonder how they did it.
You could probably get in contact with the clerk down there and find out, but they still might even have the position open, I'm not sure.
I forgot about that.
But Gail, when you talk to our insurance
our insurance guys. said, well,
requires,
Yeah, they're gonna.
yeah,
It would be X, Y, and Z, and it's, well, it's an option that we wanted to have, maybe. But-
Right.
And Jeff Warple is willing to do it. but-
Right, I wonder if it'd be,
But he, is he our employee? Is he gonna do it as a subcontractor?
Right.
Is he gonna?
right,
do
is
it
he under
as
the
a different-
insurance of his,
of-
yeah,
Right, the town of Ludlow that he works for, are they willing
his
to
own.
cover that, or?
I don't think Ludlow
Complicated.
insure,
I'm hoping the sheriff will show up and just say, yep, I got 3 new staff members and we're gonna get back up to
Yeah.
10 hours. a week."
yeah, when I talked to him the other day, that was not the case.
my other question, just going back to the feedback signs, was. Are there any other ways to fund these? Have other towns funded them? Through other grants that we don't know about?
There wasn't a,
No,
there
we were
was
told
one, we
the
lost
state
out
wasn't
on
gonna
it.
fund those grants because they didn't think they were that effective.
Meadow,
Yeah.
the total was $12,684. And that includes the 3 feedback signs and the flashing light that goes over the stop sign.
And that's just for the units, we have to install them, right?
Correct.
Until they break.
That too.
And Sherry, do you, is there anyone else in that task force you're part of? Are there other towns who are using these and have they funded them? differently?
I think initially there were grants, like when they first came out.
Yeah.
But not now.
Okay.
Ethan said the state's not going to be funding them.
Do
So
they have any other speed mitigation that they are funding?
I don't think so.
It would just be enforcement.
It's an option for us, apparently. Okay. Well, we can add it to our ARPA list.
And I do have, a updated list for fire department.
Oh, great.
And obviously. Not everything has to be funded,
Mhm.
but it's the figure.
This number?
Yep.
Oh, okay. 53,250.
That's insulation, electric.
53,
Yep.
Yep.
got 60 to spend, so.
Well, no, I know, yeah,
I'm telling,
obviously,
as a select board member, I think you're down to like having 60 that you can spend, so.
right.
you might have-
Even if we did the insulation, which would be killer,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, the roof is 20.
Mhm.
And we wanted to put the fire trucks on their own electric. So we didn't run into another lightning strike and fry our,
What happened?
with the lightning hit the building. We couldn't get the damn doors open, the trucks all the bay doors got zapped and had no power to the doors and. Yeah, it was fun, our freezer died, all the meat in it
Why don't you
Smells
get lightning
amazing and-
rods? Why don't you get some of the lightning rods?
Well, the whole building's kind of a lightning rod.
Well, yeah, but you have one that's higher than your.
Right, right,
The community center has lightning rods.
yeah. Yeah, I never thought of looking at that. I just don't know where it hit it.
Could have gone through.
I'm not sure where it hit it. I heard it.
Right. You wanna hand this to Gail?
Can I make a copy of that?
Yeah,
Need it back or
nope. I have a copy of it, kind of.
you have a copy?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, man, you wanna demo that bathroom? Holy moly. I put that first on the list for crying out loud. Have you been in there?
Not in decades.
You don't
It
It
want
hasn't
to.
changed.
It's an
Same.
embarrassment.
It's a haunted house bathroom,
It
but the
was-
bathroom, some,
years ago.
obviously some of the stuff we can do on our own, the bathroom we can.
Yeah.
Technically do. Paint would make an amazing difference in there.
Probably have some leftovers from the house.
Replacing the toilet, that's where I would start, or figure out how to clean it, I don't know.
Yeah, it's replacing it.
Another thing would be just like. Yeah, knowing what the fire department needs and,
Whittling away at it.
well,
Yeah.
knowing, like there might be more people in the community who
Right.
wanna help. Support the fire department, couple of work days, fix the bathroom.
Well, we have the guys that
They
are
might
gonna
give
do
you
it.
one.
Yeah,
We have
Yeah.
the guys that are gonna do it, so.
okay. All right, well, that's some stuff to mull over. We have to decide this
Did
by,
you have,
I haven't made up the list.
okay,
You have to allocate it by, I think, the end of 2024 and spend it by the end
Okay.
of 2026.
we
In a
still-
pinch, we allocate it to the building fund.
Right.
And then we can. or the
We have a
equipment-
little
or the
more-
Equipment fund,
yeah,
but it's,
we have a few more months to think about it.
I'll put it on the agenda for the 21st, just
Perfect.
so you can
Yeah.
pick some numbers out.
All right. Road commissioner job description discussion. Rick, this was your,
Question,
yes,
you wanna,
my question.
yeah, do you wanna talk about it at all, or?
Well, I'd like to know what your thoughts were, at my recollection of it. And it was a long time ago, probably over a month. Was that you went into an executive session, and when you came back out. There was talk of, how do we change the road commissioners, you can't fire them. Can't do this, can't do that, so what can we do? And the topic came up that you could modify or redefine what the job description was. And that was my question. Where was the thought process on that? Because we're not privy to what happened in an executive session, so we don't really know what that was all about. Anyway, that's,
Yeah.
trying
you
to,
know, I'm not sitting here.
we did talk about it, but
I don't think there
There's
was an
other-
executive session that time, but we did talk about it.
We did talk
Yeah.
about it, and I think, when I was thinking about this,
we just hadn't kind of gotten back to it.
and Eric and you and I have talked about this, there's other towns that do this differently. One thought that comes to mind, if we were gonna move forward with doing anything with this, would that we would maybe form a committee to look into it, because it feels like something we would need more community input on. And I
Yeah, I
know
don't know.
other towns do the road commissioner position differently.
In road, yeah. and
Eric, do you have-
manager.
Any opinion on that?
I do.
And Wallingford does it. Wallingford does it, and I can tell you, I've talked to Lori and a couple other people down there, and it just is, it's not. And I'm not saying that every town is like this, it just does not work well for them.
And I guess the question that we would have to ask is what would changing it, how would that benefit the town? So I don't have an answer to that question.
And then you gotta-
But we could,
And
Or
then you have to
pros and
consider,
cons.
if you do it, if we do look into doing it. how much you're gonna have a road commissioner and you're gonna have a road manager. So what, then you have to get into what job duties does a road manager have versus the, how do you,
Plus you're gonna pay that person.
right, and that's the issue that Lori Phillips was telling me about. That's where they got their hang up, was the manager was the road manager and the road foreman. Just, it's not. And like I said, that's not the way, that's not to say every town is that way. It's just, it does not jive with them.
I think you're gonna get another level of disconnect between what's going on and here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think you need it in the same town.
Well, subject came up and.
Right.
I was kind of curious as to where it came from
Mhm.
and why it was out there. And, you know, what the thoughts were as far as going forward.
Well, I don't know if I'm the one that brought it up or not. I had talked to Lori prior to it and a couple of the other guys down there. And, it just was something I brought up. I had mentioned it to him once and
Yeah.
I had just brought it up.
Well, I think
apparently
Gail, you brought it up, I think.
When Greg Casey was on the board,
Yeah,
there was quite a big push to get a lot more paperwork done.
right.
And so what he wanted to do was he wanted to be the road commissioner. And then you hired a road foreman and a road crew to do the
Right.
work.
Right,
And so you have somebody that's not necessarily out there. We've always had a working road commissioner.
Right.
And then paperwork started getting thicker and thicker. And so a number of towns have gone to somebody doing the administrative stuff and somebody else doing the actual work on the roads.
The towns that have gone that way is the road commissioner a part-time position? I
Yeah,
mean,
oh, yeah,
mhm.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they-
yeah, no. Yeah, it's a few hours a week. It's not a.
It's a paper, I don't know how Wallingford handles it, but they're part-time road, or their part-time manager, commissioner, apparently feels they have the power to tell the commissioner what to do with the road, so it doesn't,
Oh, that's what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Well,
yes, it's not a good scene.
right, you need good job description.
Right,
And
is
who-
that-
who's
yes.
in authority to say what and do what.
Right.
Yeah. 'Cause they
It's not a question you just decide in one night's conversation.
Oh, yeah, no,
You talk
absolutely
to
not.
The towns that have done it and the pros and cons and
Yes.
see how it works and how it doesn't work. It's.
what you have now is one person trying to fill two positions. I mean, Eric is doing. I mean, I hear one of the meetings, you said, he asked, do you want me to look towards the purchase of a new vehicle that we're gonna purchase 2.5 years from now? So, and you said, yes, by all means. Well, then he went off and did that, when his time could have probably been better spent helping Ronnie grade the roads or fill potholes or do something else. Instead, he's on the phone doing clerical work that can be done for, you know, I mean, I could probably do it for nothing to sit on the phone, and we're paying who knows what per hour to have that work done. But I don't think we're utilizing this person as best, in the best interest of the town as we could be.
Right.
Having him do clerical work and this and that, unless that's his position, unless he becomes the person that does that. And someone else is put into the supervisory position of, because he's saying, yeah, you guys go out and do this, and I'm gonna go there and do that. You know, or, you know, and when they get done, I gotta go and supervise them, or, you know, it's. Spreading him very thin.
Right, and I guess part of it is just. Is it changing the road commissioner's description or is it
Well, that's something
an
we'd have, if
assistant
it's
for the
something
road
we,
commissioner?
right, it's something we'd have to look into.
Right.
And get other towns' input on how it's worked out for them. And like Gail said, if it is something that we are going to do, we have to clearly state
Well-
what this person does versus what this person does.
I think it also, just before we even get to that point, it's just deciding if it's a
Right,
benefit to the town or not. And if so, then those next steps can happen.
Or benefit to the department, to the road crew department. Is it gonna help our road crew department?
So I don't know how we want to go forward with that.
I sent you a whole bunch of information a couple of months ago. I don't know if you guys had a chance.
Email?
It was in an email that came from Susan Senning, I think it from.
Oh,
League
I
of
put
Cities and
that, yeah,
Towns.
I do have that, I put it in.
And that's- It had to do with, the select
Oh,
board's
yeah.
ability to change the job description and determine. what's
Yeah, oh,
what.
I do remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yep.
and I do know
had
that,
A lot of discussion about
yeah,
board commissioners and job descriptions.
um. I do remember that. Yeah, my take was, right, what is our legal ability, and what's not. I,
The select board has complete authority to set the job description for the road commissioner.
yeah,
You can say,
right,
you're gonna do this, and that's all you can do. You can go paint lines
Right.
on the road, and that's your prerogative. That's what this woman was saying. And I said, well, we've always elected a road commissioner. I think the select board probably needs to have a conversation with the community. Like if we had a town meeting, then we could get up to town meeting and say, hey, we want to, have the road commissioner do this. We want to appoint a road
Right.
foreman to do X, Y, and Z. But
Right.
it's hard to have that kind of a conversation without having a town meeting or some
right.
kind of a community.
Public
meeting
forum.
to talk about, yeah.
Um,
And then like, I know this is outside the realm. Not really, but kind of. Then we're looking at it another person, whereas we already have Glenny 25 weeks a year. Part-time.
Right.
And potentially looking at another part-time.
Not
What I was wondering, do we just
Right.
hire a second person or
Right.
third person, I guess, full time?
The money you would save by putting the road commissioner into a
Right,
less hours per week or month or year, you could afford to hire 2 more guys.
I don't know that math, so,
I threw it out there. I was being facetious.
I would say so.
right.
but I
mean,
know, Eric, you've talked about being able to hire Glenny full-time, so there's a lot to consider here, and I don't know if it's changed, how we want to talk about it, if it's just like a road crew committee and thinking about like how we structure that,
So,
that's a question.
I was raising my hand thinking that you three are the committee.
Pretty much.
Delegating
Right.
responsibility elsewhere, it's your job to do this research
So
as the select board.
Right,
Just putting that out there.
my point is just getting more community input.
The community input is different from forming a committee. What I would say task the select board with, as you are.
is getting the
select board,
information.
This is your job. Like,
So-
you'll get this information and bring it back to the meeting and tell the public, this is what we have come up with.
And I guess my question is, again, I don't know how to get that question of how is changing this gonna benefit the town? And so if
We have to contact other towns.
we'd have to contact other towns, but also what is the problem we're trying? Like, is there a problem we're solving? Like, what is the? Like, why are we even having this conversation? And I guess it's kind of like, okay, yes, okay, we sign up to do this work, but then, we were asked by one community member to do this. And I think the reason I would consider doing a committee would be so that we would have more input, or even to see if anybody wanted to serve on the committee, if it was something that the community even wanted us to look into.
Possibly knowing the contents of the executive session would help the one person that brought up this whole thing to better understand.
So Gail, do you want to
The-
talk about this? Cause this feels like this was your idea.
No, she doesn't need to talk about that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, she was the one who just brought up changing the road commissioner's job.
She was just offering counsel, which is what she's here to do.
Right, but that's all, she's the one who talked about it in executive session. I don't feel like we, as a select board, were
Yeah.
talking about it. in
If
executive
I
session.
recall
It
correctly.
was a
I think
personnel that,
Executive session.
with the executive
But that
session.
wasn't at
Yeah.
that meeting. That
No,
was at an earlier
That
meeting.
was,
Was it?
that was a, right, that was a
It,
meeting.
there was talk that maybe we should go into executive session, but we never did at that meeting.
And then we've addressed those issues and moved forward. And so
So,
But you do have,
I
you
guess-
have someone here that has waited patiently for a month to have a response and was like to have.
well, we just hadn't gotten,
So are
that
you asking
it.
us to tell you what happened in
No, no,
executive
I'm
session?
gonna, you mentioned something about doing all this because of one person bringing up a question.
Yeah.
We're about ready to put, sun-powered signs on the three, roads going into our town that flash, "You're going too fast," because one or two people spoke up
Well, we
and
have a
said,
committee,
hey,
right?
you know,
So if we had a committee, then we, to take your point, like, those signs were decided on by a committee to bring that suggestion to the select board. So if this, your idea is something that more people are interested in, then there could be a group of people who form a committee and bring that more fully fledged information or to the town. That would,
if that's the way you wanna go, that's the way you wanna go.
Meadow, I really do think it's the responsibility of the select board to research that. I mean, just delegating and making small groups and committees is not a very effective way to, I would like to see this board like reach into this, because this is something that you have the authority over and you should be researching this.
and that's fine, but I also personally, and you two can speak to this, feel that this is something that's going to have an impact on the community more so than some of the other things that we discuss.
The flashing
Well-
lights are gonna have a.
And
bad
so,
impact.
right,
was
and that has a committee of people that
hopefully
are
a
working on
positive
that.
impact.
And so me personally, and you two might disagree with me, feel like this needs to be something that one is given a lot of time to be discussed, and one of us can be on this committee as well, or and then we can have these discussions, but this feels like because we're a 3-person board, we can't discuss outside of this meeting, and so it makes it difficult to share ideas and have those discussions and research things. And having a committee of people who can do that work together is really beneficial, because then they can work together and gather information, and then we can bring it forward and have a more informed discussion as a group.
Thank you for your response.
That is my opinion. I don't know how you two feel or how you want to respond.
Are you looking for a resolution before the March election?
I didn't come here looking for a resolution. I just asked a question.
Okay.
I'd like to see you folks do with it what seems best. Not here with the agenda. I'm not verbally saying I want it to change, and I won't be happy until I get it changed. I'm just throwing it out for you folks to mull over.
So I,
If you think it's a good deal, go with it. If it's gonna save us money, go with it. If it's completely pie in the sky, tell me, don't go with it.
I mean, I think. And I would be fine doing it, cause I kinda did with Wallingford. I'm fine with checking with other towns. I mean, I know other road commissioners in other towns. It's not that big of a deal to ask.
Yeah.
And get their feelings on it, whether it was beneficial or it wasn't beneficial. But
That'd be
but the other towns are quite a lot bigger than Timoth. I mean, it probably, other than Wallingford, it may have benefited them. You don't know. You
I
don't
guess
know,
one
but
of
it'd
the
be worth asking.
Benefit questions I would be curious about, did they see an increase in the dollar amount of grants they were getting? I'm assuming that's part of what that position would be for.
I think
Right.
in Wallingford, the administrative assistant does the grant work. The road commissioner, I don't think does.
So yeah, and I'm
The
totally
ones
fine
that
reaching
down
out to
there
other
is-
towns to check it, just to see what they say.
Well, that's
I'm
another
fine with that.
question too that could go on Vermont local roads. Is you know, are there towns out there that have changed? Are you happy with it and wanna go back, or, you know, what are the
Right.
benefits and what are not the benefits?
Well, that sounds like a place to start.
Okay,
And then
yeah, I'm
if
fine
you
with doing
find
that.
that out, come back with that feedback and then.
It's gonna take me a
continue.
little bit.
That's fine.
Oh,
I don't think we're in a rush. And then we can decide if we want to form a committee or just table it. And
Or
from there.
take, if the information that I do get. Maybe it's something, maybe not, but maybe it's something you bring to a town meeting.
right,
I mean, it's,
The question was proposed, this is what we found, do you wanna change how we're doing business or not?
right, I mean, I know we have the authority to do it. But
right.
It
It would be
just
something
feels-
that we would be, if we brought it to town meeting, it would be something that would change. Well, I guess,
it just feels like the town. For me, it feels like the town should kind of be involved in it if we
Right.
went that far with it.
Especially if it's gonna cost more money, I would like the town to,
right,
Say
have
yes or
input, have,
Right, and it sounds like
Part in it.
if, depending on what I find out, it sounds like maybe it could potentially involve money.
I think it involves. You need somebody that's gonna be more involved. In the administrative side of it.
Right,
You may need somebody else on the road doing road work, but you also need some help that's.
well, I just didn't know if,
Can do write grants and file all the forms that need to be filed with the state and the permits and all that stuff.
right,
And help develop budgets and, you know, work with. The road foreman, you know.
yeah.
it's- You need people that'll get along with each other.
So if you,
Begin with.
Kevin, are willing to take on getting some
We'll find
information,
some information. Yeah.
come
Yeah.
back, and I think we'll just go from there.
I'm fine with doing that.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we have listers request for approval of an error or omission on the 2023 grand list.
Well, I got a question the other day about who the owner was on a new property, and we had put it in as 160 Merrill Spring Trust. And when I went and looked at the deed, it's actually Ashley Pettis, trustee of the 160 Merrill Spring Trust, so we need to fix the grand list so that Ashley's name is
Okay.
in the grand list. So
Great.
ask- and-
I
and
approve it.
remember, We have to have the select board's approval. And so the listers have signed it, so the select board needs to sign it, and that's what the change would be.
We have to move to.
Approve the.
I still move. I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moved in a second.
Jude,
I moved.
okay. Feedback form review.
Unfortunately, the back side of it.
Rick, this was your feedback form. Do you want to speak to it since you're here?
You want to read it?
Yeah, I can't find a copy.
It's on the.
You want to read it?
Do I sign this?
You need to sign over here. It was on the back side of your packet.
So
Yeah,
the
back here.
issue that's circled is highway. Will the water erosion gullies on a lot of the dirt roads be corrected before cold weather?
And Rick, just out of curiosity, are you talking about the,
I'm sorry, I directed that feedback to the road commissioner, not the select board.
Okay.
It was pointed out to me that it's supposed to go to the commissioner first and then he responded.
sure, I was just curious if you, and I'll let Eric have you clarify what you meant by that.
What do you mean by that?
Do you ever travel the roads?
I do.
Do you notice the erosion that's occurring in most all the dirt roads right alongside the brand new ditches that were put in and lined with stone? And in front of my house up on the hill, there are now not only two, there's a third one starting in the middle.
Yeah.
And it's taking, not only is it a pain in the neck to drive through, and I measured some yesterday, And some of the shallower ones and deeper ones were over 3 inches deep. And they travel for as long as they travel for, half a mile, 3/4 of a mile. And then there's 3 of them forming on my road. The water has no way of escaping and getting into the ditches that were made and lined with stone for that purpose. I just was wondering, what's the criteria? Is it 3.5 inches, 4 inches? It's next spring, next summer? I was just wondering when it was gonna be attended to.
We get a minute, we'll get, I've been working on grading some of those areas out when we get time to do it. So that is on my list, yes, to get that graded, but I don't know if we'll get it obviously graded before winter sets in. But it's just typical, you know,
Best you can do.
best you can do.
Yeah.
You know, you got time,
If that works once or twice in life, the best I can do.
Hey, Rick, can we try to just have a tone that's more constructive?
Okay, that works best when you use it like one thing. I'm doing the best I can. You know, I've worked 30 years for a place and the people hold a retirement
All right.
dinner for me.
So,
And they say, boy, well, you did a great job. Well, it's the best I can do. But when you use it time after time to cover up whatever whatever reason it's being brought forth for, it becomes old.
right?
And I've heard it come from you several times in this venue here, and I'm sorry for carrying on. But we all drive these roads every single day, and it's a pain in the neck to have to drive through ruts in the road repeatedly. It's dangerous because sometimes the ruts are going around curves, and you have to kind of be not in the rut, you have to be in the other travel portion of the road, which becomes dangerous. It's a danger.
okay,
So my question was, are they gonna get fixed before cold weather comes? You did a great job on the one on the other side of the hunting preserve. But the one coming down towards our house is starting to rut out again.
Yeah.
So. Just a simple question, that's all. But, you know, you turned around and gave me your answer, so I'm able to give you a little more feedback.
all right. Eric? This is your feedback form. We'll have you resolve it. Is it resolved? Does it feel resolved?
Do you feel it's resolved?
So
Not in any way, shape or form, pal.
Right.
I'd like to see you out there throwing some dirt and gravel in and taking care of it. But I know it's getting late, it's getting cold, it's probably not gonna happen this year. So we're gonna have to put up with those ruts, along with the ripples that are still in the roads from the last time the road was maintained and graded. Yeah, day to day, many times a day, we all have to live with this.
Yep.
And that's your job. It's, you know,
It's also,
I'm not
Yep.
accusing you of doing anything. I'm just saying, just do your job. That's all we want you to do. Be there.
It's only so many hours in the day. That's all
I
can say,
know it.
You know?
I
don't
know it. You put in 40 hours and we love you for it. You're there.
all right. Anything else?
What else could there be? Fix the roads.
Any,
Do
either
your
of you
job.
have any thing you wanna say?
nope,
But we all did receive the, you sent us all the. What was it you sent us, the email of, the dirt road manual?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick, would you like a copy of that?
How does that work? The dirt road manual
It's the
tells you
state.
to
Standard,
grade the roads with your fresh gravel that you put down so that it creates a berm so that the water can't get into the channels that you just made and lined with stone. And then you take your blower machine and you blow the leaves that are on the road into the gully. Now, I don't know where, in what manual there would be that would say all that stuff. Wouldn't mind seeing that.
Great. Gail, can you email Rick that? That would be great. Thank you. All right, members' concerns. Do either of you have any concerns? No?
Nope.
Great. Do we have any miscellaneous correspondence or mail?
I do, I have something for you from the Vermont Association of Listers and Assessors.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find it. It was on the bottom of my file and stuff. They're concerned with the states doing, studying, taking over all the reappraisal stuff. And the Association of Listers and Assessors want a seat at the table. The statute says something about all interested parties, but then they don't describe who the interested parties are. So they would like to have towns at least talk about it. Understand, try to understand what the ramifications are. The property valuation review is supposed to be doing a study. Report back to the legislature, because the legislature last year just said, hey, you go do this every 6 years. The
Right.
evaluation review said, wait a minute, you can't just tell us to do that, there's consequences. So of course, now that my file is totally discombobulated, so I guess I'll have to email it to you. But I
Okay,
would like to maybe have you take action on it on the
the
21st,
next meeting, sure.
when you read it, just as write a letter of support or something to
Yeah,
say, ask the legislature for certain things.
yeah.
My apology, guys, if it was,
Oh, it's
it
fine.
was right there. Now it's-
That's all right.
But didn't we also get it in an email?
No, I just got it today from the.
Oh, I thought it was in an email too.
You might have got something from the League of Cities and Towns. I don't know. All I got here is the. And we did get the. Snowplow guys in West Timoth a copy of the procedures for
Oh, great.
licensing. But I will email that to you
Great.
and put it on the agenda for the 21st.
Perfect. Thank you. Do either of you want to have an executive session? No, Gail,
Good.
given you need for us to have an executive session? Great. Our next meeting is on Tuesday, November 21st. Normal time, 7 o'clock.
David Fox is on the agenda. for
Yes.
that.
Okay, great. All right, that's the whole kit and caboodle. Not too bad. 8:22.
I'm gonna tell you that over and nothing before you.
Hmm.
Future select board member?